What's up, tech nerds? Lottie here again in my roll Scooby-Doo shirt because it is a admin easy day. It's really not. I actually really don't like admin days. Dealing with a lot of frustrating government agencies. Anyway, enough of that sort of nonsense. We have loads to get through. First things first, flags in the background. You'll see those a bit later. We've added to the collection. And I thought I might show you a little bit of something for our upcoming project. Ooh. I wonder what that could be of. Okay. And lastly, I'll mention this again at the end. I will be doing a live stream on August 31st, Sunday at 11 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time. I believe Eastern Standard Time is 9 a.m. also on the 31st. And that will go for about 6-7 hours. There might be an hour break in the middle. I don't know. But yeah, I am going to be doing a live stream of the Steel Aces closed beta. So if you're interested, be sure to lock that into your calendar/clock. I'm going to be doing updates on that as well. Anyway, lots to cover over the past 3 weeks of work that we've been doing. Let's get into it. Okay, first things first, I don't actually know if I covered all of our racking storage, but we've got lots of stuff up there and loads of projects to do. That I believe we are turning into a barbecue/griller. I don't know when that's going to happen. That is a way down the end job from a client. Here's the carousel of a 25-pounder. Here is a 25-pounder, but you will notice very different looking to your standard artillery piece. This is a generator that I've been working on for a spotlight. So imagine a big spotlight here. We've got the spotlight, just not in the workshop because we need space. As you can see, everything is migrating around. I've only hit it with the one layer of primer, which is why it's white. It shouldn't be. It's going to be a dark green, like a sage sort of green. So yeah, I've just hit it with the one layer of primer. I've still got to do the insides. The owner isn't going to have it running, and they've not really advised on how clean they want the inside. I've just pressure washed it, but I haven't actually done anything to the dials or anything. We'll see what they want to do. At this stage they said don't touch the inside apart from just cleaning out the dirt and stuff. Here's the engine for it. So theoretically, I'm just turning the light on, sorry. Theoretically we could get this running, but there's probably not a lot of reason to do so, seeing as the spotlight will either not be running or it'll be running off a separate power source, because running up a generator and all that just to show it off isn't really gonna do much for the owner. But I have had to do quite a bit to it already. I've taken all the wheels off. I had to loosen the brake on that. Again, it's not going to have working brakes, but that one was seized on, so I've just had to loosen it just so it's moving. Peter's over there being noisy, in case you're wondering. Those are all the wheels for it. It has a pivoting front end, so the tow bar, Peter's being noisy, actually turns the wheels. I can't turn it too much because it's on axles, but you can see them moving left and right. I also had to fix this. You can see, there we go. You can see some welding in there. That was because it was cracked. So I had to do all that. What else? Oh, I painted the grill black for the radiator. It's under there, and then I just put cardboard over it. Again, I've still got to run through with the second layer of primer. And then when it's all green, I'm probably going to paint that black, just so it's a bit different. I'm also losing my voice. I don't know why. Probably talking too much. But yeah, this is the handbrake for the actual brakes. But again, owner said he wasn't really concerned because it was either going to be on flat ground and chalked or just attached to a vehicle. So no issues there. Looking for a spare wheel. He says he might have one. We'll see. Oh, and there is, of course I've locked it, haven't I? Oh, there we go. There we go. This one has a board, an electrical diagram on it, so I've got to recondition that one at the very least. And let's see if I can actually lock it as well. Probably not. This one's a bit stiff, I think, from the paint. And I went the wrong way. Ah well, I can sort that one out later. Moving on, because we have so much to cover. The Carrier has come a long way since I think you guys saw it last. So, we're not sure if that's going to be the final green. We can always touch it up. But Peter did have to paint the underside green because once the track and all the other suspension stations goes on, we won't be able to paint it the extra green. But it will be close to the green, and then we're going to have a two-tone, I believe. There it is. So this is actually an original bit of an LP2 Carrier. This is the screen. I'm not going to hold it because it's too long, but this screen goes over here for the air intake, and you can see the tone change. So it goes from this green here to a light sort of, I don't know what you would call that. It's like a sandy brown. The camera doesn't really pick up on it too well. It looks more like a almost, no near skin tone. But it's probably closer to like a sandy brown than anything. So we'll do the two-tone stripe to match it, which will be really good. So front idler is on, so this is how you tension it, which is really cool. The rear suspension station on this side is on, which is really nice, as is the entire rear differential, which is groovy. And Peter has remade the entire rear tray section. So these come in all sorts of different flavors and etc. This one just has ammunition bins and boxes like that all along the back here, which is really cool. All the pioneering tools go on this side, so we might have to repair a little bit here and there. Oh, you will notice the steering shaft is in, so a large, where are we? We'll be floating around somewhere. There it is. I just did full 360 for no reason. So this is the middle suspension station. So this section here is where the steering rod goes in. I'm trying to remember the orientation. I think it goes, yeah, the other way. That's the return roller. So return roller sits on here, and you get two other road wheels. So it sort of like sits on a cantilever. Now the reason, I have explained this in other videos, but for those who have not seen anything on Carriers, pretty straightforward. These have a two-section steering system. So there's actually a steering wheel that goes in the front, right there. So this is the steering wheel, that's the driver's seat, what's left of it. Again, we'll have to repair that. Those linkages go back to the little turntable just behind there. Right there. So that's the turntable over there. As it steers, that goes left and right. And there's little rollers that sit under there, and they push that entire rod left and right. only a little bit. I think it only moves about that far. But what that does, because obviously that suspension station is attached to it, it pushes the entire suspension station out about that far, and that warps the track. So instead of being a straight track, it's now bowed, and you can bow it both ways. So when you turn the steering wheel, let's say you want to go right, it will actually push this one out, causing the bow to go that way. So the vehicle will list to the right. Listing lazily to the right. For those who get the joke. But once you get to a certain point of steering, it turns into a clutch brake steering system. So it will actually brake this side. So you get a nice hard steering, which is really cool. We haven't touched too much on the Acco. We're just using the bed as a storage area for all of its stuff at the moment, as well as underneath it. Our priority is to get track on this sooner rather than later, because we aim to take it to some sort of an event, just as a demonstration of our restoration work at the moment. So yeah, nor has the ferret been touched. But what has come back, which is really cool, is my ejector seat. Yay! You guys haven't seen too much of this, nor have you seen it in its near completed state, but it finally got back from the upholsterer, which makes me a very happy girl. So I didn't cover any of the woodworking that I did at the bottom, but yeah, all that's handmade. Very proud of it. It's really good, so it's really structurally sound. I've jumped up and down on the seat and everything. It's really good. So they're all on casters. The idea was for it to be some sort of office chair for the owner. You could still make this an office chair, but it's never going to be as comfortable as a proper office chair. I still think it's quite good. It certainly helps with my posture when I sit down on it. So you can sit up relatively straight, and it's quite nice. And all of that is velcroed in, which is really nice. Now the original seats actually had an apron that sort of came down and under the seat. Obviously we don't really want to worry about that. I still have a few things to do. I need to pack all of this to make it look like the drogue chute is in there, and then tie it all up, and I need to connect all that. I've also got a box full of the seat belts and leg straps. I've got so much to do on this, but it's been a thoroughly enjoyable restoration. Having to draw all those up was really fun as well, and I'm glad that I could make it something to be proud of. I'm tempted. I don't know what to put there. It should be exactly the same as what's written here, stowage for face, screen, safety, and disc. But I was thinking of putting something unique on this side, because I have run out of templates for that. Oh, there's a bit of a scruff. Fortunately, it's all like triple painted, so I'm not too worried about it getting, dirty. The reason it's all dusty is because it's been sitting in the upholsterer's workshop for months at this point, but stuff happens. So yeah, I will be doing a full video on kind of start to finish, just because it's I put a lot of time and effort into this, and I haven't really been showing it off too much on the channel. And lastly, our flags. So I mentioned this, I think, in a post. Got the Canadian flag from a group of the Royal Canadian Dragoons. Thank you guys so much for that one. I got the St. Barbara flag from Maximus. Go check his YouTube channel out. I'll cover that one in a second. 3rd Battalion parachute. It's one of Peter's. And we got this camo Australian flag. Can't remember where. This one's actually really cool. I had to do a bit of research because it might not be so much of an Australian thing, but St. Barbara is the patron saint of artillerymen, which is why you can see the artillery gun and all the artillery shells in front. She was originally associated with the lightning, hence the cloud and the lightning bolt, but that's adapted to basically cover explosions. So the way that I read it is back when they were still using galleons and all that, as you can see, like the two crossed black powder cannons in front of her, they would actually have a statue of her in the magazine of the ships. So she would watch over them to make sure that they don't blow up by any sort of accidental problems. So that's really cool. And yeah, thank you again, Maximus, for the flag. Go check out his channel. Alright, so there we go. That is a very, very quick run through of everything that we've been doing. I haven't even really covered all the other little stuff that we've got on the side for the carrier, or all the other little stuff for the ejector seat. And of course, I'm always going to mention it, but we have our big project which we've been doing stuff on. I really hope to properly announce it in the next week or two. We were going to wait. The reason I haven't announced it is not to keep you guys out of the loop or anything, but I really want to make sure that when we announce it, we do it correctly, because we are doing this slightly different to all of our other restorations. Not as far as physical work, but how it's getting funded is quite different. So I want to make sure that we set all that up correctly, and then one big video across multiple platforms to get as many people interested as possible. It is an exceedingly rare vehicle, and I'm so excited. I wish I could just press the button, turn the camera around and show you guys right now, but that's gonna have to wait, sadly. But yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna leave it. Remember, live stream August 31st, Sunday at 11 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, or 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Americans. I think that's the American one. Anyway, I'm sure you can work it out by doing the Australian Eastern Standard Time and backwards stuff. So, I hope you all have a lovely day. I will see you on the next one, and be sure to leave lots of lovely little comments down below. Bye!